Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to talk about 5 golden tips for carrying games. With those tips in mind, chances will increase for you to win a game. Let's go. I already made multiple tutorials, including one about how to carry a game. In this video, I once again want to talk about what you need to do in order to either carry a game by yourself or at least to help your team to carry the game. With the following 5 golden tips and tricks, you will be able to bring yourself into a winning situation, and you might here and there turn around a game which seems to be lost. So without further ado, let's jump into the first game and talk about 5 basics for you to carry a game. Alright, first game. We are spawning in the M6 in a tier 6 tank on Himmelsdorf. But before we talk about the actual topic of this video, let's first of all take a look at the map and see what options we have. Spawning on Himmelsdorf in the north, this is how the game usually develops. And in my opinion, there's no real strategic position. However, I like to play on the hill and I like to win this position of the map simply because from here you can basically shoot over the whole map. Of course, you can also get shot while you are playing on the hill. But it is possible to basically defend this position because it's the upper slope, and tanks which are trying to take you out have to play from the lower ground to the upper ground. And so in my opinion, it is beneficial to win the hill because then you can push into the base like so or like so on the other side. Now, analyzing the map and recognizing the strategic position of a map is crucial because it is a huge part of carrying a game or helping your team to carry a game. So what do you need to do in order to help your team to carry a game? Well, first of all, what you should always do is you should try to preserve your HP until the end of the game. i.e., you should always try to trade positively. Now, if you do not know how to trade positively, then please feel free to check out my video. I made a dedicated tutorial about trading positively, not only in a heavy tank, but also with a medium tank or with a light tank, or basically with any tank, because there are different techniques that you should know in order to be able to trade positively no matter in which tank class you are sitting in. Okay, and the next crucial thing is you should try to help, or you should help your team to try to win the strategic position of the map. Because if your team loses this position, it becomes relatively difficult to win the game. So depending on how strong your forces are, at least on the strategic position, you should try to support your team and then see whether you can play aggressively or less aggressively to win this strategic position. Now, of course, sometimes your team is not doing what it should do, and then chances are that you will lose the strategic position. This is, this happens from time to time, but in general, you should always try to help your team to win the strategic position, because once again, if you can make, if your team can win the most important position on the map, then chances are that you will win the game. And of course, it is easier for you also to carry a game if you can play out of a, let's say, important position which gives you multiple advantages. Then of course you should try to build full situational awareness, and this is what most players, or let's say what the average or the below average player is not able to do. You should use the minimap and all the other indications. So for example, the tank list on the right upper corner, to see whether all tanks are spotted or not, and then you should look at the minimap to see where those tanks were spotted. And then of course sometimes tanks can move around, and it is very likely that especially light tanks or fast medium tanks will flank and must not or might not appear where they were last spotted. But in general, this gives you an excellent overview of where all the adversary tanks are spotted. And then once you have this picture, you can then basically develop a game plan how to approach those remaining tanks, and it is important to approach them one by one. So you do not want to fight in a 1v many situation, because no matter how strong your tank is, if you have to fight against multiple opponents, then you will most likely not be able to compete and you will be taken out and sent back to the garage. So you have to create a course of action, and you have to try to face adversary tanks one by one. And you can only make this course of action if you have full situational awareness and if you know where all the remaining tanks are situated. And of course, in order to be able to take on tanks one by one, you might first of all have to relocate and basically retreat or go into a better position that might be necessary. And then lastly, what you should always do, but then particularly in such a situation, you should use the terrain to your advantage, so to save HP while you are fighting the remaining tanks, because the more HP you have, the bigger the chance is that you can take on a fight successfully against another tank. So those are the five important steps. I wouldn't say that those are the only steps that you need to do in order to carry a game, or in order to at least help your team to carry a game. But if you are able to fulfill those 5 tips, or to incorporate those 5 tips, then the chances of carrying a game, or at least helping your team significantly to carry a game or to win a game, is significantly increased. So here we are in the next game. This time we're spawning in the MX-12T in a tier 6 game. And in the first game we have not been successful, but this will change in this game. However, let's first of all take a look and see where the strategic position is situated on this map. Spawning on mines in the south, this is how the game usually develops. And in my opinion, the hill in the middle right here, this is the most important strategic position. And you should always try to win the hill in the middle if you're playing on mines, because from this hill you can basically control the whole map, and so it is imperative to fight for this strategic position. Alright, so as I said, the first rule is to preserve our HP, because we will need them to carry the game later on. So yes, I know that the hill is the strategic position, and we certainly want to win the hill in order to increase our chances to win the game. However, I do not want to lose my HP right from the get-go, and so I go to this kind of defensive position where I can punish adversary tanks which are pushing to the hill, but where I do not lose HP at the beginning of the game. So that is super important. And now I want to outplay those tanks, and there are multiple techniques. As I said, once again, feel free to watch my video on how to trade positively. But as you can see, I want to surprise my adversary tanks. I do not have any armor in the MX-12T, so I need to do something else. And so I simply want to surprise the adversary tanks. So once those tanks are not looking towards my tank, I move out of cover, and then I take 1 shot or maybe 2 shots, depending on whether the adversary tank that I'm fighting against has just taken a shot, because I know that my intra-clip reload is about 2.5 seconds, or 2 seconds, maybe slightly more. And so I can clearly see whether I can take a second shot or not. So in this case, for example, the tank was looking towards another tank of our team, and so I could have easily taken a second shot. And with kind of calculating all this, I can make sure that I do not take a shot in reverse. So here you go. The T-52 is almost down to being one-shottable, and so now it is my time to push the hill and to take him out. Here you go. And so now we could win the strategic important position, which is the hill. But I only received 89 damage for winning this important position, simply because I did not go there right from the get-go, but I kind of shaped the battlefield in order to then exploit it later on. So I think, a good example for preserving your HP and conducting smart gameplay in order to win the strategic position. Alright, so what else can we do? Let's see. See how it goes. The game so far is relatively close, and now I think it is time to simply assess the situation. So all tanks have been spotted apart from the VK2801-105 and also 2 tank destroyers. While the Hellcat can be played more offensively, chances are that those tanks are still in the adversary base, because if the Hellcat would have pushed, then the P43 BIS on the 1 lane might have spotted this tank. And so I think that those 2 tank destroyers are both in the adversary base. Looks like there's... Okay, I'm proxy spotted, so I need to play cautiously. Now it is imperative to not create a line of fire for the 2 TDs at the adversary base in the A4 and A3 position to shoot at me. Now I want to wait 10 seconds until I'm not spotted anymore, and now I want to evade out of the situation. Now the Skoda T25 is pushing me, which is bad. He wants to ram me, so I need to evade. Here you go. And I need to make... Okay, I donked the first shot, and so... Okay, fortunately... Oh, that was super close. Fortunately, he could be taken out by our artillery. Now, as I donked the first shot, I could not take him out, and so I needed to get some help from my team. Now, as you can see, the M6 is now pushing. He's not down to being one-shotable, but he's, I would say, he still has 2/3 of his HP, and so I cannot take on a fight against him, and so I want to kill the P43 BIS, and now I want to run and evade out of the situation, because there's no way that I can win the fight against the M6, because I only have, what is it, a clip potential of, what is it, 600 or so, but he still had beyond 700 HP, and so I needed to evade out of the situation. So, as I said in the previous video, this was the time to retreat and to set myself up for a better position. Now I want to proxy spot the positions where this tank might actually appear. And let me see. So I'm now waiting for information. I think it is too early to once again try to win the hill. Maybe I can peek around the corner and see what he does. Okay, here you go. Okay, this is the information that I need. He is engaged into a fight. Nice, he's taken a shot from our team, and so now it's the time to take him out. So I only need 2 shots to take him out, and so yeah, that's what I needed. I needed a bit of support from my team, and now once again I could manage to re-win the hill for our team. So let's go into the reload, and as all the adversary tanks have been spotted, let's now create a course of action. So first of all, I want to help the T78. As you can see, this Hellcat, nice, has no armor, of course, and okay, I can only take a second shot. As you could see, he was turning the turret towards me. Okay, that was super unfortunate. He was turning the turret towards me, and so I needed to fall back, and it was just early enough in order to evade the shot. Now, as I had taken the unexpected second shot of this tank, I could at least use the reload of this tank in order to give 2 shots in return, and with the help of the I think the T78, we could take out the Hellcat. So here you go. Now it is time to spot the VK2801 and maybe the VK3001H. Our 3 tanks should be able to win the fight against the IKV-65-2, and now once again this is my time to spot this flank and to spot for my team. I'm pretty much using the terrain to my advantage because I am spotting behind cover. Now as the distance is so far, okay, between me and the VK3061H, I also do not get spotted even if I take a shot. Alright, 2k damage is an excellent result, and now of course we can play more aggressively because there are only 2 remaining tanks besides the 2 artillery, 2 artilleries, and so there you go. Let's see, okay. Yeah, it's always nice to kill an arty. Go. And so, yeah. Looks like we can win the game, and I think this was a good example for like what you need to do and some tips and tricks in order to carry the game or to help your team to carry the game. So yeah, 2000 damage, 2.6k combined in the MX 12T. I think it's an excellent result and a good demonstration how to apply those 5 tips, and that those 5 tips can really help you to at least help your team to carry the game. Okay, third and last game. This time we play in the KPZ-50T on Live Oak. So let's first of all take a look at the map and see what options we have. Spawning on Live Oaks in the north, this is how the game usually develops. And in my opinion, there are 2 important positions. One is the city, but in my opinion, the most important position is in the south, because this is a heavy brawling area. This is more the static position, and the more dynamic position is here in the south. And with the position in the south, if you have won this ditch here, and then further on, if you've cleared this whole area here, then as the green team spawning in the north, you have access to the base to push like so. And the same applies for the other side, because then you can push like so and clear this whole area here. So in my opinion, the southern portion of the map, this is the position that you should fight for if you want to win the game. Yeah, so in my opinion, the most important position, as I just said, is in the south. And fortunately, we are playing in a tank which is perfectly capable of playing hull down. So what do we want to do? Well, once again, we want to play cautiously, so to preserve our HP. Okay, that's stunned here. And we want to also use the terrain to our advantage, and that is of course to play hull down in this tank. So let's see how this goes. With our KPZ-50T we will also be able to spot. Looks like besides the WoT 251, there's only the Leopard 1, which is also a good spotter, maybe the CS-63, but this bush is phenomenal because we can simply make a first spot and then create first damage onto the adversary tanks. Of course, they also have a Char Future 4, which is also pretty good at spotting. The Reno Toronto is pressing forward, which is nice because winning this little ditch here is tremendously important and also helps our team to win the game. And so I want to help those 2 tanks, the Minotauro and the Reno Toronto, in order to exploit, let's say, the possession of this this important position. I think we can make pressure because we can play hull down against the Char Future 4, whereas he does not have any armor to fight against us. And so yeah, I think if we can take out the Char Future 4, then we have a distinct advantage to win this flank. So let's see. Okay, I'm not even spotted, so I can further advance. Meanwhile, we need to take a look at the minimap. There are some tanks which have not been spotted. I'm wondering where the Skoda T50 is situated. Still not spotted. Okay. But the CS-63 is spotted. Now, if you take a look at the minimap, you see that the adversary heavy tanks are fighting against our lonely IS-32. So chances are that we will lose the city in a couple of minutes. Okay, there's the Skoda T50. Now I need to wiggle around. Okay, nice, he's dead. And so, excellent. So I think we should, in this situation, make a bit more pressure to get one or another kill. Because once the adversary heavy tanks have managed to proceed to our cap, then it is difficult to basically to dig them out. So let's see what we can do. Now all the tanks have been spotted apart from the T95. So we have a good situational awareness, a good overview and now we can develop a course of action. So first of all, I want to proceed a little bit to the E3 position to maybe spot for my team, to spot the FV and the T30, because they need to be taken out in order to advance on this flank. Okay, so we got get a shot onto the adversary light tank. Nice, we can. And now we've been spotted. We get an additional damage. Nice. And we spot one tank. So okay, here's the T95. Nice. Yeah, I'm spotted, so I need to fall back. Of course, I do not want to take a shot from the T95. And so we are now in a position in which we can spot for our team. The problem is on the other side that this position is pretty offensively and pretty aggressively. Okay, second time I do not pen this this tank. Super unfortunate. And so chances are that we might need to retreat later on in the game. See whether we can get at least one shot onto the VZ55. Now I've been spotted multiple times in this position, so I'm a bit afraid that I will be pushed out in this position. Okay, our Super Conqueror has been taken out, and so we only have 2 remaining tanks. I'm a bit unlucky right now. Yeah, we have 3 tanks down in the what is it, J3 position. So let's remain in this position for a bit. T30 is not spotted anymore. Now the FB is spotted, so we here we go. Can finally take a shot onto this tank. Meanwhile, the enemy light tank is spotting us. Looks like our team is managing to defend the base, which is good. And I think it is now time to run and to evade out of this situation. The CS63 is making pressure onto our remaining tanks. And so I need to retreat before this position is lost and before I get encircled by the adversary tanks. Meanwhile, one more shot onto the CS63. And the T30 is pushing me. Okay, I need to... can I get a shot? Okay, T30 is pushing me, so can I... I need to retreat back behind this wreck of the Minotauro. Because otherwise the T30 can take a shot onto me. And he bounces the shot. Super fortunate. So ING is back on my side. And now I can, of course, finish him off. Excellent. So this was the luck I needed in order to maintain in the game and in order to also preserve my HP. Sometimes you need to be lucky, of course. And now we need to evade. So we need to fall back and go into a position in which we cannot get encircled, and we need to fall back into a position in which, or out of which, we can use the terrain to our advantage. And this is once again to play hull down in this tank. So let's fall back. Meanwhile, of course, all those tanks have been spotted, and now I think my game plan is to simply take on the fight against either the Object 705 if I can spot him, or I need to completely relocate to the other side of the map and help my teammates in the north. So let's see how it goes. See, okay, they take out the Reno Charonte, and so I think I can once again proceed on this flank. So let's see. Our team is making pressure. This is good. They are in a 3v1 situation, and they will be able to take out the VZ55. Okay, super unfortunate. I wanted to hit the rear of the tank. So meanwhile, I can try to win or try to take on the fight against the 705. I can keep him spotted because I'm the medium tank, and he should not have a chance to spot me. Once again, no penetration. So ING is a little bit of a roller coaster in this match. Here we go. He's now stunned, so maybe he doesn't spot me but take a shot. Yes, he does. So I need to fall back in order to not be spotted again. And so, yeah. The T-95 is still in the same position, and besides this, we only have 2 artilleries in the game. So, you know what? I think it is time to take out the adversary artillery pieces, and then we are in a basically 5v2 situation. So I think this is what we should do in order to win the game. So let's see how it goes. Can we spot the object 705 again? No. But maybe we can take another shot onto those tanks. Let me see. Yeah, so this is once again a game which is relatively close, but in my opinion those are the more fun games in World of Tanks. And I always like to have games in which I can have an influence on how the game develops. And I think if you follow those 5 tips, then let's say your chances of carrying the game, or at least of helping your team to win the game, are significantly increased. And so yeah, this is why I made this video, in order to give you some little tips and tricks in order to win those games which are pretty much close right from the get-go. Can we get a shot onto the object 705? No, we cannot. And now I do not want him to turn around and to take a shot onto me. Okay, now he's just shot, so we can basically go here. But you know what, let's make the safe way and go around the building right here. And now, okay, now it is finally time. The 705 is entangled into a fight against the T-54 lightweight and also the pattern tank. And so it is our time to basically proceed towards the artilleries. Okay, the T-54 lightweight has the same idea. And yeah, nice. So this game is won. But once again, I think a good example of what you should consider while making your advance and while trying to win a flank. So try to win the strategic position, try to preserve your HP, try to use the strength of your tank alongside with the terrain to have an advantage, and then also try to build up situational awareness, try to find out where all the adversary tanks are located, and then develop a course of action. This is the, let's say, the red line, how to win a game and how to finally also carry a game. Alright guys, that was it for today with the video about basic tips and tricks to carry a game. What do you think about this topic? Have you already managed to carry a game like the one I showed you with the AIM-X12T? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. And as always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. This really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you find this video extremely helpful, then feel free to support me via Super Thanks. This way you can make a one-time donation. You just have to click this button underneath the video. If you adore this channel and you want to consistently support me, then consider subscribing to my channel or become a member, once again with the click of a button underneath the video. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time in another World of Tanks video.